Did you like the entrance music? It was either that or Mysterious Girl. I'm waiting. So before I start, big thank you to the guys for organising these nights. These are absolutely brilliant. Give a lot of people a chance to showcase their talent, and also me. My life will be complete the day that someone opens their set with an acoustic version of Smack My Bitch Up. That would be great. So, just to introduce myself, my name's Myles, the world's premier female meatloaf impersonator. They did ask me to do a few songs tonight. But I won't do that. Pause for effect. Hope for laughter. It's a good start. It's going to be a lot of work tonight. We'll get there. So I grew up on the mean streets of Lantworth Major back in the 1980s. Very strange place. People from Cowbridge looked down on us like scum, which was fair, really. And everyone else thought we were either posh or English. Not sure which was more insulting, to be honest. But the 80s was not a place to grow up. We had the strong male role models like Prince, Freddie Mercury, Boy George. My father was a pantomime dame. My mum was a seamstress and used to try dresses on me because she couldn't afford a tailor's dummy. But luckily, I grew up with no real issues or noticeable problems at all. So the more observant amongst you might be thinking Susan Boyle really needs to cut down on the cigarettes. So I'd just like to clarify a few points before we get going. Firstly, no, this is not my natural hair colour. And also I'm not trying out to be the world's least glamorous drag queen. And this isn't my comedy gimmick. It's far too much effort to go to for a laugh or two. You are allowed to laugh, by the way. It's much appreciated. So I am, in fact, transgendered, and I know I hide it well until I talk. And it's been quite challenging. The worst of it was having to come out so many times and tell the same story to so many people time and time again. Ironically, now I stand in front of strangers and tell the same jokes time and time again. Yeah, so to make life easier for me, I actually published my life story last year. I figured if people were that interested, I might as well make a tenner a time out of it. And it's doing quite good. I got to do a book signing in Waterstones a few weeks ago. I wrote I Hate You in 6 Harry Potter books before they banned me for life. And yeah, conversations have gotten really weird now. I've learnt more about hair and makeup in the last 18 months than I ever thought possible. One day I might put some of them into practice. You never know. Live in hope, people, live in hope. And my age is kind of against me. All of my closest friends, like me, are on HRT. They're going through menopause. I'm going through puberty. As if I wasn't unbearable enough already. It's not as fun as it sounds, though. I can go from horny teenager to evil hell bitch in the time it takes to eat a tub of Ben & Jerry's. And believe me, I've eaten a few of them in my time. This is the body that Ozempic forgot. I do, in fact, have the body of an athlete under the patio. Oh, there's some good laughs going on here. I'm liking this tonight. So yeah, being a child of the 80s is great. Have we got any 80s children here? Yes. Any more? Oh, this is really depressing. I feel either old or like someone's grandchild right now. I don't know. So yeah, I'm part of that whole Generation X thing. We're the greatest generation. We were brilliant. Um, Basically born dead inside, no emotion, cynical, hating everybody around us. That actually reads a lot like my Tinder profile. But one of the best things about being Gen X is the fact we had to do everything in real life, and dating particularly. This online dating nonsense is a nightmare. And real life is kind of a dying art now. And, I miss that. Especially things like the art of the chat-up line. That was one of the greatest things, break the ice with someone. And I get all nostalgic over that. So at this point in the evening, I'm going to pick some complete random stranger out of the audience, you. Not really a stranger, but I can get away with it without getting punched. Come this way. Come on, you can do this. So for those who missed out on the whole chat-up line thing, we're going to try a little thing here and reminisce over those great days. Hi. Hi. How you doing?
I'm good.
What's your name?
Beth.
Oh, say no to this, Beth. I haven't prepped my stooges in any way. So, do you come here often?
No.
Would you like to?
No.
Okay, no to the first part, right? Don't go anywhere. So, you know what? I'm no Fred Flintstone, but I can make you bedrock.
I haven't got a bed.
Sometimes you get a tough crowd. Sometimes you get tough audience plants. You're sacked. Go. Gone are the days you could walk into a pub, have a few beers, meet your absolute love of your life, and then after a drunken fumble out the back, be stuck with them forever. And now the pub seems to have completely given way to coffee shops. And some of the bigger caffeine emporiums you go into now, and there's like groups of kids there on mobile devices and everything, and largely ignoring each other. And I was in one the other day, and there was a guy, middle-aged guy, sat there on his own. No phone, no laptop, just drinking coffee. Like a psychopath. Yeah, watch him. So, this is the first time all night I've had to refer to my notes. I'm really impressed by this. The other thing with the youth of today, they can't do anything without an online tutorial. You ask your kid to do something now, they spend like 20 minutes checking TikTok to see how they do it. And it put me in mind of a certain scenario, which I'm going to obviously share with you tonight. So imagine, if you will, a young boy and a young girl in love. And they've been seeing each other a while. I've been really trying. Yeah, gentlemen, thank me later. This will work. Your luck's in. Buy me a drink next time. So they decide it's that time for that first special, intimate moment together. So they set the scene. They've got the Marvin Gaye playing in the background. The lights are low. The candles are lit. The Tesco Value Prosecco is chilling in the corner. And they start getting a bit closer. It all gets a little bit hot and heavy. So they move the action upstairs. She gets on the bed, ready to go. He grabs his phone and says, "Give me 5 minutes." Nips off to the bathroom. Jumps on to the artistic adult website of his choosing and gets a few hints and tips. So about 10 minutes later, he goes back. He walks into the bedroom and he says, "Hello, love. I've come to fix your boiler." Quite a few people tonight watched the same special films I did growing up. I feel loved. It's fantastic. So I was actually offered my big break many years ago in the artistic adult film industry. I turned up for the first day of filming. very excited. Thought, this is my foot in the door. This is going to be brilliant. And they handed me the script and said, yeah, you're the husband who leaves early for work. That was disappointing. So I've had many jobs over the years because I've got to try and finance my plans to be rich and famous. Incidentally, if you want to be rich and famous, never do stand-up comedy or writing. They didn't tell me that in school. The only lesson I wish I'd paid attention to was careers now. Everything is just a money drain. But luckily, I've got a very addictive personality, and luckily for me, I was introduced to comedy before crack. It's slightly cheaper and psychologically less impactful, allegedly. So nowadays I work in an office, and everyone's got wind of the fact that I like to get up in front of strangers and make a complete knob of myself. And one guy came up to me the other day in work and said, Ab, you're a comedian now, aren't you? I said, well, that's kind of a relative term, but kind of yes. And he said, I've got a great joke for you. And he proceeded to tell me the worst joke in the world ever. And at the end of it, he had the gall to say, you can use that if you want. So it's all right, we're not at the punchline yet. It kind of gets funny. So a couple of days later, I bumped into him in work, and before he could say anything, I said, Jeff, you're a cleaner, aren't you? He said, yeah. I said, here's one for you. Go in the bathroom, change the toilet paper. You can use that if you want. I only said it was kind of funny. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's me done. Miraculously, I got through with only one prompt and a couple of pauses. But before I go, usually I like to tell a terrible and mildly offensive joke. But tonight, I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me just the other day. I was driving home from work, and I ended up, uncharacteristically, being nice and picking up a hitchhiker. And he got in the car, we were driving along, he said, this was so nice of you to pick me up, and so trusting. I could have been a serial killer. And I said, there's not much chance of two of us being in the same car. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.